All right. Check, check, check. Is this thing on? Rock shocking the mic and the many times the times tables. My name is Manny Wolf. And just experimenting with StreamYard still. And I think you're going to appreciate the little banner that we have scrolling across the bottom. That is such a cool little touch. I just love that. So, as the banner and the headlines say, if you're a speaker, you should be paying attention to what I'm up to. If you are in what I call the ACEs category, which is the authors, coaches, experts, and speakers, myself and my business partner are opening a group, which I think is unlike anything else. I haven't seen it anywhere else. And frankly, what we do is we've compiled the best resources that we have between us to help you use public speaking as an income generating and authority building part of your business. Now, this is not as perfect a fit for those who wish to be keynote speakers. And we can help keynote speakers, but so Nick asks, how do you do the banner? It's an option on StreamYard, Nick, but let me get back to it. Let's see. There we go. Oh, that looks so sweet. So this is not necessarily for keynote speakers. While we can help you, we do find paid gigs that you can then apply to, and we provide the leads for you inside the group. Really, my passion, though, is not so much for the keynote. Nothing against you guys and gals, but I like to use speaking and to help others use speaking to grow their coaching businesses, to grow their expert businesses. And I'm amazed at some of the misconceptions around doing this. So let me share a few things with you that you may not know. If you have been interested in taking the stage as an expert, using it as a lead gen source, using it as an authority and credibility building source, maybe you didn't know where to get started. Maybe, like many of us, you feel like there's just not that much good help out there. And so it feels like you're just kind of on your own, like nobody has your back. Well, we have your back. The group has a very long name because I wanted to name the group exactly what it is. And so the group is called Authors, Coaches, Experts, and Speakers Speaking Gigs and Resources Group. Whew. You're not going to be memorizing that anytime soon, unfortunately, but you can't miss it. Authors, Coaches, Experts, and Speakers Speaking Gigs and Resources Group. Authors, Coaches, Experts, and Speakers Speaking Gigs Resources Group. Okay, that's what it is. And it is a paid group. Let me just say that up front. But inside the group, we are providing hundreds of speaking gig leads every month in many, many different categories and niches. I never know how to say that word right. It does not look like niche to me. It looks like niche. So we're providing hundreds of new leads every month that you can then apply to. In addition, we have trainings on best practices for applications. We have trainings on how to get your one sheet created. We have trainings on how to position yourself so that people will actually hire you, and tons of other resources. We've got a great training on how to do a press release kit so that you can legitimately, not with some sort of underhanded fakeness, you can legitimately post as seen on, Fox and CNN and this and that. And we can help you to get those what would you call those? Honorary? I don't know what they're called. Those little logos that you get to put, like I have as seen on Huffington Post and Good Men Project. I sport the Amazon International Bestseller badge. We show you how to get those for yourself. In fact, this is just a stream of consciousness thing. I think what I'll do is I'll do the same press release kit myself, maybe take you guys on the journey. I'll do this inside the group take you on the journey and show you how I can legitimately add, all those different kind of publications and TV stations to my As Seen On. But what I want you to really understand as a coach or an expert who wants to speak, the biggest thing I like to change people's perception on is the power, and I mean the financial power, as well as the impact building power of doing free speaking gigs. See, one of the things that is so amazing to me is that so many of us, even though we feel like we're here to help and here to serve, we inadvertently get driven by ego and vanity metrics. And so what happens is, I talk to people who say this to me all the time, they only want paid speaking gigs. This is about the most foolish thing you could possibly do. Now, if you get yourself to the point where you're doing keynotes or presentations and you can command $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a talk, 5, 6, 7, whatever, that's great. Good for you. But let me just clarify something for you here. Unless you are a genuine unicorn, and you will have had to have done something extraordinary, publicly extraordinary, in order to achieve this, unless you are really, truly that one in a million, it's going to take you several years to get to even like a $3,000 speaking fee. You're going to have a huge platform, and you're going to have to really be positioned powerfully. You're going to have a lot of social proof. You're going to have a lot of things in place before people will pay you $3,000 to speak. $3,000. Now, you may be saying to yourself, 3,000 is pretty good for an afternoon. It is. But let me share with you an example of one of my students that really, really drives the point home. When she started working with me, our goal was to build her coaching business up to where she could just be the brand, just the face of the business, not work in the actual coaching anymore. And we've mostly achieved that. She is focused on media interviews and speaking primarily, as well as positioning herself on social media. She recently finished a talk where she garnered 50 qualified leads for 45 minutes of her time. 50 qualified leads. It was a free gig. She expects, and in fact, I'll check with her and get the exact numbers, but she expects half of those to convert to clients. Now, what I want you to understand is that over the lifetime of a client for her lifetime client value, LCV, it's $18,000. That's the average lifetime client value for her. So one speaking gig where she did it for free is potentially going to net her hundreds of thousands of dollars. So don't let your vanity tell you that you don't speak for free. It's a huge, huge mistake. It's an embarrassing mistake, and I don't want that for you. I want you to understand the power of the free gig. Now, do you need things in place in order to make a great ROI from a free gig? Of course you do. But let's face it, you need things in place to get paid as a keynote speaker too, right? So what I want you to understand here is if you want to grow your business and you want to bring in, a lot more income, make a lot more impact, have a lot more influence, you really should consider looking at doing speaking. Don't ever look down your nose on free opportunities, and just be ready. Just do the work. If you do those things, adding $200,000, $300,000 a year to your income becomes very easy. So how can we help with that? Well, again, we're providing hundreds of speaking leads in the group. Now, the group is a paid group, but it's very inexpensive. It is such a deal. In fact, it's less than a cup of coffee. It's less than a latte each day to join the group. And in addition to the speaking gigs, you get free support, free resources, and you get trainings by myself, by my partner, and by guest experts that we bring in. So you get training calls as well. It is meant to be a brain dead, absolute, no question about it bargain. It's meant to be a low cost resource that can bring you powerful returns. And so this is what the group is about. And I'm doing this live stream because we are currently today adding dozens of new gigs in the business niche. Now, business could mean entrepreneurs, could mean marketers, could even mindset coaches could fit with the business heading. Business is the broadest. Business and wellness are the most broad topics that we find gigs for. And hey, Laura, thanks. And most of the coaches I know would be qualified with whatever unique niche they have to speak at business conferences. Laura Pence Atencio, for instance, she'd be qualified to speak at business conferences. It'd be perfect for her. Nick Elvery, I believe you'd be a good option too for that. So all of this is to say, I guess, two things, frankly. One is you really should be considering leveraging speaking in your group. Sorry. You should be leveraging speaking in your business. And we have created a group. That's where I got the word group from. We have created a group that is going to have everything in it that you need in order to do this, in order to actually start to leverage speaking in your business. The other sort of more object lesson kind of thing is that you really need to understand the power of doing free speaking gigs. The power of free gigs is the way to go for most of us. Let me tell you something. I know keynote speakers who make $10,000 a talk, who are one new talk away from missing a mortgage payment. I want you to think about that. Why is that? It is because there is so much competition for paid speaking gigs. Why is there so much competition for paid speaking gigs? It's because of ego. It's all because of ego. I talk to people who just flabbergasts me. Talented, powerful, skilled, passionate leaders and helpers who they just insist on being paid to talk. Laura says, I prefer to do workshops and breakouts. Yeah, I mean, workshops and breakouts are wonderful. By the way, in the group, we often find opportunities for paid trainers and presenters. Now, that's an interesting way to go too. It's sort of a sub-niche where a company will hire you and train you in their methodology and what they want you to present on, and hold you on retainer and send you out to different half-day workshops and stuff like that on their behalf. It's an interesting sort of little, again, sub-niche, but we find those as well. So what was I saying though? I was saying that I know people who, if they didn't have this pride, I guess, pride and ego, that tells them they have to be paid to speak, they could be making so much more money. Let's break down how it works. You've got a service, a program, a consulting, or some sort of viable offer, right? You've got a good offer. It's proven and you know you can get results. Here's what happens. You get on the right stage. You deliver the right story, the right presentation, and people will be moved by it. In fact, my question mark story model is perfect for transformational coaches. It's exactly Oh, look at that. The last gig I got, Laura, was paid travel and expenses. It was awesome sauce. There you go. Boom. You hijacked my train of thought, Laura. But it's with a testimonial, so who's complaining? Where was I, though? I totally forgot. What was I talking about? Damn it. Totally. I got to be more disciplined and not necessarily answer every comment. Otherwise, I'll forget what I'm talking about. I think we were talking about, oh, yeah, what you need in order to make money from free gigs. You got to have an offer, right? You've got to have something that you know you can provide results with. And when you get up on stage and you present well and you tell your story the right way, especially if you have a free gift for the audience that leads them into a conversation with you, you're going to get leads. Those leads are going to convert, and you're going to make, in most cases, far more than a speaking fee. In fact, I went to judge a speaking competition. I didn't even speak at it. I went to judge a speaking competition in November, and I paid my own dime to get there. I was not paid to do it. I would say so far it's yielded about $20,000 in client work and leads and referrals. So, that's like, I'll never get a $20,000 keynote. I mean, I could if I focused on it, but I don't want it, right? I much prefer the easy accessibility of free speaking opportunities, the lower barrier to entry, less competition, and knowing that if there's 50 people in the room, I can probably get 3 to 5 clients out of it, if not more. Amy says, but you were on the panel. Yes, I was on the panel. And I did it all on my own dime, and I was happy to do it. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, you need to be thinking in your coaching or expert or speaking business about free gigs that work for lead gen, so that you can make tons of money and have tons of impact. I don't know how else to say it. If you want help and support with this, we have a group that is going to give you everything you need. Now, again, it's a paid group. You can't get in for free, but it doesn't cost that much either. So, are you serious? Are you serious about doing some work? And are you serious about getting on stages, adding value, growing your business? If so, we've put all the resources you're going to need for that right in one group. And it is much, much less than $100 a month, much less. So I'm going to leave you with that. Look, if you want to join, you know where to find me. And after this broadcast ends, I'll have my assistant put the link to the group. I'll have her put the link to the group in the chat. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys next time. If you want to reach out to me directly to find out about joining the group, feel free to do so. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.